Hello everyone, welcome to my studio. Today I'm going to be working on this simple daisy painting for you guys, and I'll be walking you through how I did it. I'm just starting off with spritzing the paper so that the colors flow together as I put the pigment down. Today I'm using Magello Mission Gold watercolor paint, and I started off with some lemon yellow and some bright opera pink and some quinacridone crimson lake, and I'm just letting these colors flow together. I'm also adding in some bright clear violet. Magello Mission Gold calls their dioxazine purple bright clear violet. I'm not sure why they do that, but that's the color. And I'm also using some Van Dyke green. The Van Dyke green mixes really well with the purples and the pinks, and it just makes this wonderful color. So I'm just super saturating these colors and just letting them flow on the paper. If you're using student grade paints and you're having a hard time getting really super saturated colors, you might want to try spritzing your watercolors before you start to use them. That'll help ignite the color. So now that I have the pigment down on the paper, I'm going to use a clean, damp brush to lift out some sun rays. I want these daisies to look like they are basking in the sunshine. So you just dampen your brush and then wipe off any of the excess water that you have on your brush, and you can lift out the paint. If your paper is not allowing you to lift out, it may be the paper. Sometimes using cellulose paper will make this a lot easier. Sometimes lower quality papers won't let you lift out pigment, and it also depends on whether or not the pigment is a staining pigment. So if you find that you're having a hard time lifting out your paint, you might want to try a different kind of paper. So now that that's done, I'm just adding in some table salt. I want the salt to repel some of the pigment. It'll make nice little blooms on the paper. And then I'm going to let this dry completely. And now that it's dry, I'm going to use some yellow green to just add in a hint of a leaf here in the background. And then I'm going to use this mixture of the Van Dyke green and the bright clear violet to do this negative painting technique in the bottom of these petals so that I can make the petals pop out. As I'm laying this color down, I'm just allowing the paint to flow, and then on the edges I'm using clean water to blend this out into the background. I don't want any hard edges here, so I'm using the water to help me clean up the edges. I want it to look like this purple blending in was seamless. Doing the background of every painting is my favorite part. I love letting the colors bleed together. I think that's the fun part. What's the fun part for you guys? What's your favorite part? Sometimes I like getting into the details, but other times I just kind of let my brain go numb and allow myself to just let it happen. They say that's the flow state. So I'm not getting into too many details on these petals. I'm trying my best to just kind of let things just be what they are. But as you can tell, I'm getting some hard edges, so I'm having to blend this out. And then on the top part of this flower, I couldn't really see my drawing very well, so I kind of got lost onto where the petals were supposed to be. So I ended up trying to lift this out. But because I'm using that Van Dyke green and the purple, they're pretty staining, so they're not going to lift off of this paper. But sometimes that happens and you just have to keep going. Just softening up those top petals. I want them to look a little blurry because they're further away from the front of the flower. So this color that I'm using here is yellow ochre, and the bottom part is burnt sienna that I'm using. I like to use the yellow ochre because it's not as bold as, say, a lemon yellow or a permanent yellow light. It, for some reason, and botanicals, the yellow ochre and the burnt sienna just seem softer and they work better in paintings. So now I'm using that quinacridone crimson lake to define the bottom part of the top flower's petals and just blending out as I need to. Oh, while I think about it, if you guys like this painting or any of my other paintings and you would like to subscribe to my channel, please feel free. It is free, and you can also hit the bell notification to be notified when I upload new videos. I typically try to post once a week. Some of my videos aren't the greatest because I'm still learning and it is a difficult process, but I appreciate any feedback that you guys have. If you have any type of paintings that you would like to see or for me to paint, let me know. If there's something special that I could do to get you to subscribe, let me know in the comment section below. About 70% of the people that watch my videos aren't subscribed. And if you know anything about YouTube, we don't get any benefit from people that don't subscribe. So I do this just to share my love of painting, and I hope you guys enjoy my paintings too, and they give you some inspiration for the work that you want to do. So let me know in the comments what I can do to earn your subscription. So as you can see, I'm adding in this, I took that purple color and I mixed it with some Van Dyke brown to make a gray color. Because when you're working with daisies, there's a lot of gray in the petals. And I'm just using it to add some definition to the petals. I'm trying my best not to get too detailed in this. I'm just letting my brain just kind of go numb and allowing it to do what it wants to do. And then I'm going to use that deep purple to give a little bit more definition on the center of these flowers. It just makes the center look a lot deeper and makes them kind of pop. And now that the flowers are done, I'm going to mix up some Van Dyke green and that purple again in a really super saturated way to make a stem here. And I'm just using a watered down version of this to make it look like there's a leaf in the background. It's kind of hard to see. It's just a hint of leaf, nothing really serious. And now I'm just putting in some little tiny stems and then the stem for this other flower. I wanted to make it look like the stem was kind of fading into the background, like it was further away at the bottom, but the paper got really wet and it wasn't working with me, so just kind of dealing with it. Putting in another leaf, kind of just vaguely in the background. Still trying to fix this stem, but it's not working, so sometimes you just have to abandon stuff. And now I'm using one of my favorite little tricks is Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White. It is an acrylic paint and it comes in this little tiny jar, and it only takes a little bit of it to make these petals. And then I'm going to use some of that yellow ochre again and that burnt sienna to kind of define the inside of these little tiny flowers. And then put in some stems. And then we're all done. So here comes the fun part. We get to peel the tape and see the finished product. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you give this one a try. And if you like my channel, please subscribe. And you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.